All right, one comment before I get into the watch list for October 21st. Not to be political, but man, all I can say is just beware of anybody or any party that demonizes business owners and people who are successful. Most people I know who started businesses literally average 90 hours a week while they're getting it running. And sometimes when they get it running, it's even worse than that. So you're talking about, and I'm just throwing this out there, probably 90-hour weeks for 5 to 10 years in the growing stages. So when you look at someone who owns a business and they're extremely successful and they're driving nice cars, have a nice house, they're not the bad guy. They busted their ass. All right. So I would just caution you. And I know this isn't stock related, but I would caution you to beware of anybody that somehow is making those people out to be the bad guys. Busting your ass and making something and creating jobs and everything else is a noble thing. All right. I'm just kind of aggravated tonight. Anyway, Walmart. Okay, Walmart, big sell-off, and you're starting to just kind of find support at a nice narrow range. If I switch to 15-minute candles, since the big sell-off yesterday, and I'm making this video on Tuesday night, so this would have been Monday, was really the only day since the big sell-off that it broke its early high, but it really still broke it in the morning. What I like to see on a stock that gets killed like Walmart is an afternoon break. Okay, so now you've got pretty much a 2-day base here. So you got pretty nice support if this can break to the upside. I would love to see, some sideways trading for a few hours tomorrow and then an upside break. So keep that on a chart. It doesn't cost you anything to have it on a chart. If you get an afternoon break out of a narrow base, I bet you get a really quick, nice move in Walmart. AMCX. I can't be shorting anything that's responsible or carrying The Walking Dead. And this one just got slammed today. Took out recent lows, but then kind of a little bit of a hiccup there. Kind of found support. I think this one might bounce tomorrow. That was a big move today from basically 75 down to 69. So I think sometimes these things get ahead of themselves, and then the next day you get a nice bounce. So I'm going to watch AMCX for a bounce. FPRX. A really big breakout here and then a nice follow through. Now you've got 2 days lower on declining volume. I mean, it kind of looks like it still needs to come in. The moving average is still way down here, but that's because of the gap. It's kind of come down and testing the breakout area, right, where the old highs. So it gapped up and broke through that. So you're testing that. So I like this as a potential bounce and turn higher again tomorrow. We'll see. ERII. Got to have this on watch. 22 million shares. Really big news of a deal with I think Schlumberger, and it closed above its open and really had a pretty nice intraday range. So let's watch that for maybe a red to green or something like that tomorrow. STX reminds me a little bit of Walmart, just a beaten up stock, a little bit of a bottoming tail today. I have that on long watch for tomorrow. HLX, again, really nice volume. Gave back a lot of its earlier gains, but possibly red to green tomorrow. And Twitter, TWTR, for some reason this isn't a bottoming tail. Whenever I draw a trend line on a shorter time frame on these charts, it ends up doing something like this. But let me switch to 15-minute candles. That's what that line's doing on the daily. So this is interesting here. You can kind of see a cup and handle and a little flag here. So if Twitter gets up over 31.20 tomorrow, somewhere around there, it might just break out. So I want to watch TWTR. Had good news the other day, and also a low volume one that I still think is worth having on a chart. HTCH. You had a nice 2-day rally here that took it up to 225, lower high here, and then today it broke that lower high on decent volume for this stock, albeit still pretty low volume. Today's high was 213, so if it hits 214, that's a break of today's high. That might just take you to and maybe through this 225 high. And then being a lower float stock, anything could happen. Might make a move to the 200-day around 231. So that's a lower price stock, but I still think it's worth having on watch. And then one final comment. I tweeted a screenshot of this today, which I ended up making 20 trades. I had 19 winners and 1 loser, and somebody jumped me on social media and says that I need to be more transparent and show my actual P&L, my actual profit and loss. They actually want to see the dollars that I made. I contend that I don't like actual dollar posts. People on Twitter try to put out these numbers and entice people to join their site or whatever. For me, it's not about dollars or having Ferrari pictures. Look what you can have if you're a day trader. Day trading is very, very hard. I don't ever want to give the perception or the impression that you can get rich day trading, and you certainly can't expect to feed your family if you're new at it for several years probably. So my point is I like to show how important consistency is and really focusing and waiting for the right entry. I will say also just be aware that I didn't trade 20 different stocks. This includes scaling out. So if I buy a stock and then I sell it out in 3 parts, which is usually what I do, so that'll come up as 3 winners, even though it was just really 1 trade and then me scaling out. Incidentally, this one losing trade I lost $33 on. So I do try to show people that your trading method is way more important, and learning to trade is way more important than showing people how much I made today, because that shouldn't even matter. I always say new traders should get with a prop firm or somewhere where they can pay per share pricing so they can just trade 100 shares at a time. You don't start trading and try to pay your bills with it, right? It's just like anything else. You start trading to learn, and you can learn by trading 100 shares at a time without risking getting in trouble, okay? So these guys that put out these massive daily profits and show you the screenshots of their P&L, I contend that they are doing more harm than good, because newer traders see those big numbers and they say, man, I can get rich trading. And a lot of them, it's not that hard to ruin your life if you go into it with a casino mentality and how much money you can make. The real important thing is you should be saying to yourself, I would like to learn the craft of day trading so I can make money for the rest of my life. Not, ooh, look what this guy made in one day, I just want to duplicate that, right? Because then you'll be trading too big and get yourself in big trouble. So if you don't take it seriously, or if you treat it like gambling, the market will reach out and slap you in the head. I promise you, all right? I'm done babbling. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.